What's going on, y'all? It's your favorite drunk of noon, Belichick calling all the plays. Thank you for joining us on Drunk Us Podcast. Tune in to hear the latest news on sports, gambling advice, fantasy sports, and trade rumors, and more. It's raw in the cut. You don't want to miss this shit. Make sure to follow us on all platforms, including our YouTube at Drunk Us Podcast. Yo. What's going on, everybody? It's Noon Belichick, your favorite drunk uncle, calling all the plays. And once again, on Drunk Unks Podcast, former collegiate athlete, former wig splitter, hard hitter, you get me. Yeah, I got my boy next to me.
What up, man? It's your boy Campaign, man. You know, just a lit one.
Oh, he ain't got it. He ain't got it.
I got it. No intro specials. I'm just going to talk my shit.
Tyler, Sean, what y'all got for us? Introduction?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Sean Ragland over here. You know, like I say every time, BG alum, so go Falcons. You know, we got a big show for you guys today. We've got a lot of NFL playoffs and the NBA's in full force, so excited to talk to you guys. Thanks for joining in.
Tyler T here, you know, UT alum, go Rockets, you know. We don't really rock with the Falcons or whatever, but, you know, we're just here to talk sports today. I'm excited to be on the show, and, you know, I got some agendas to push.
Oh, yeah, we always got those to push every week. So we got 3 topics we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about NBA, like Sean said, in the playoffs. So we're going to start off with the NBA All-Star game. So I got a question to start off with you guys. Like, how do you guys feel about the All-Star game being in Indianapolis?
I like it. I mean, I know that what the NBA is trying to do, they're trying to kind of bring the All-Star game to a lot of the cities that don't get a lot of love. You know, you usually see them in New York or LA, but I like how they're kind of expanding it out a little bit to some of the smaller markets to get them some love. So I think it helps with free agency too. I mean, if athletes have a good weekend in there, you know, as far as the Indianapolis, for example, it's not really a free agency destination. So I think if they have a good weekend there, it could be beneficial for them in the long run. So I like it.
What about you, TT?
You know, I don't know. I'm movie theaters. I like the big cities, you know. So
small markets.
I think it's good. I think it is good for, you know, those mid-market teams, the small market teams, like Sean said, and could help with, you know, getting people more acclimated to those cities, because, you know, a lot of people don't spend a lot of time there unless they're, you know, they have a game or whatever. But I think it's a good situation for those type of cities. So I'm okay with that. I'm a Pistons fan, so it's not the biggest market. But
yeah, I felt you. What about you, Jay?
I think it actually does. I don't think it really helping these small cities, man. Just because they about to pull up in Indianapolis, it's about to be 20 degrees, and everybody gonna be like, man, I ain't fucking coming here. Why the hell would I ever come here? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's just, I think the All-Star game, I get what they're doing, like you said, going to the smaller markets. But I think a lot of these smaller market teams that we're looking at are all these cold cities. Like we said, Detroit, Cleveland, I think it wasn't last year. You got Indianapolis this year, you know, Milwaukee and Minnesota's like, it's freezing in all of these places. And I don't think players are going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to come here. Like, I don't think it's happening. But I think this one is a little bit different though, just because Indiana is the state of basketball. You know, when we talk about like the home of basketball and the creation of basketball, I think that one was a little bit different just because of the history of it. So you might get a little bit different if they play on that well this year. But I think in terms of like just small market, I'm not a big fan of it.
But Indianapolis, City of Lights. What do you mean?
I think Indianapolis is a great city, though. I think it's a nice little city. You feel me? It's very family oriented.
Yeah.
I don't know about the nightlife because I never went out there. I always just go with my family, go ride bikes and shit downtown. Super nice. All the bikers be out there and stuff. So like, small market, I think it's nice because like All-Star Weekend is like a family event. It's not like a kick-it event. Like I get it. I get like the going on, but I feel like that's like more of like when you be with your team type of deal. It's like when you're on the All-Star Weekend, you always doing something anyway. You always around players. So the motherfuckers could be inside the hotel room having a fucking time of their life, ordering strippers. Like, you feel me? Like that shit is gonna come with anywhere you go. Like it probably was in Salt Lake City going crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like It's like
Is it like Utah, like a dry state?
It's like at a certain hour, but I think at a certain hour you can't serve liquor or something there. Okay. But I got a question. I'm gonna go online. I'm gonna actually start off with Sean. If you had to pick one city to have the fucking All-Star game, like that you want to play in, what would you do? Yeah, order strippers for sure.
Order the strippers.
Yeah. I mean, it got to be Vegas. it seems like Vegas is kind of turned into kind of the sports capital of the world now. We got a lot of franchises moving there. You got the LA, or you got the Las Vegas Aces, you got the Athletics moving there, the Raiders are already there, and you already know the NBA is trying to bring 2 teams. So one of them Seattle, then one other one's Vegas. I think Vegas is the next step. It just seems like that's been the sports capital lately. You got all the gambling and stuff like that, and obviously the players are gonna, have a ball over there in Vegas. So I think Vegas is really the next city to host the All-Star game for sure.
Sean, do you think that they'll put an All-Star game there before that they have an actual NBA team there?
I think it'll be kind of that inaugural season of the team. So I think that first year with the team is probably when they're going to get the All-Star weekend. So I think they kind of try to bring all the buzz, especially with the new franchise coming in, get them a little bit more attention. So I think Vegas is definitely the spot for sure.
Hey, we pulling up to the All-Star game for sure.
What you think, Vegas. Tyler?
I'm gonna go with the Florida destination. I'm gonna go Miami.
Miami.
Yeah, Skyami. That's Skyami. So I think that's always a good time. You don't even say too much about Miami. You already
know I was going down to Miami.
South Beach, what I mean?
Strippers galore. It's just good vibes.
Movie theaters,
Yeah, look.
I think the 2 best cities that have been named already, Vegas, Miami, I think will be the 2 that'll be very turned up. But I think you got some other ones, I think Houston had one recently, but Houston would probably be a city that'll be really crazy. And then Atlanta, obviously, I think as well, too, for the culture would be another one that'll be crazy.
I'd be in Atlanta.
Atlanta doesn't even need All-Star weekend. Every weekend there.
Every weekend in Atlanta, you got that. So
nasty.
What about Arizona? What about Phoenix?
I like Phoenix too. They had
a Super Bowl. They just had a Super Bowl in Phoenix.
Yeah, they did. But I think that's a good city. I think Arizona's underrated
this year.
Yeah, I think so.
It is, right? It is.
I think so.
Yeah, that's about to be crazy.
Yeah, so let's get into these lineups though. I'm seeing a lot of shit I don't like. But before I get into these lineups, do y'all like this new format? Or do you guys you think when we were younger, the All-Star games are way better? What can we do to make these better? What do y'all think the format?
Are they going back? I thought they were going back to the East West.
They're going back to East West, but what can we do to bring the excitement back? Because as kids, bro, we used to really watch these All-Star games. We used to be oh, fuck everything going on. It's just like the Super Bowl. That used to be this used to be real hoops. Now it's kind of gimmicky, kind of like the flag football shit with the NFL. I kind of liked what they did a couple years ago. They implemented when Kobe died, the match point, that shit's 100, plates 100, whatever.
Right.
I like that because they was out there really hooping for a little bit.
4 minutes.
For a little bit, they was actually hooping. What do y'all think we could do to bring that back in? Incentives or what do y'all think?
I think one of the biggest things is, especially if you're going back to the East and West. Baseball did this a lot of years as far as the winner of the All-Star game gets the number 1 seed, or that conference gets home field advantage. So I think you can bring that in, just make it a little bit more competitive. I don't really like how they went positionless, because I like an All-Star format to be, as a real basketball team would be in real life. I think Adam Silver changed it just because a lot of people get complaining about, this guy got snubbed, and this guy got snubbed. But the reality is the league is just more talented than it's ever been. So obviously you're going to have a couple snubs here and there. But I think maybe the winner of the conference gets the number 1 seed. I think that's a good advantage for the All-Star game. Maybe that can fix it.
I agree. What you think, TT?
I agree with Sean. I also agree. I see Craig said just pick we're at the park. I like that too. It's always cool to get those dream matchups and kind of see players you might not usually see play together, or not, just stuff you would, only think about in your dreams. So
yeah, because they're not in the same conference.
Yeah, I like seeing it that way. So I am cool with that. But I do like the old school East to West. What about letting everyone wear their team jersey?
Yeah, the throwbacks,
right.
Everyone wears their own team jersey, white or their dark colors. What about that? They should do stuff like that.
Hey, that used to be hard, bro. Yeah. The throwbacks to Vince Carter,
or even what's crazy is the 1 year, I always think about them Jordan, that was at the 97 or 98 All-Star game where they had them teal All-Star jerseys. Them boys was tough too.
I didn't like those.
I like those.
The one set color. I didn't like those. I know what you're talking about. The Detroit Pistons teal.
Kind of, yeah.
I was shits was nasty to me.
I like
shits
them.
Was nasty.
That's how I became a Chargers fan. That powder blue baby.
Them shits was nasty.
So
So right now, All-Star voting ends tonight. So as of right now, in the front court for the Western Conference, they have Bron, Joker, Kevin Durant, AD, and Kawhi. Which I'm not. I mean, that's a lot of. I mean, I think that's a good front court.
I think so.
Then for your guard, you got Luka, Steph, Shai, James Harden, Kyrie. I'm kind of like irritated with this shit because like they leaving out. Okay, so Anthony Edwards, Kyrie. Come on, you taking Kyrie over Anthony Edwards right now?
Right. I think that's one of like the main I think that's like one of the main issues, just like the fan voting.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially
especially with the Timberwolves being the number 1 seed, you can't leave the best player off that team, off the All-Star team.
Yeah, and Sengun is at 6, like on the front court. Like I get it, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's better than Sabonis. He averages 21 and 9, but I'm not sold on like how they do the voting. Like they need to go back and do it like how we used to do when we were younger. We want to see buckets getting scored. We want to see the flashy shit. We don't want to see you and that bitch doing post-score moves. Like we want to see
fundamentals.
You feel me? We don't want to see no goddamn.
We want to see some high fly dunks, alley-oops, crossovers.
Thank you.
I think,
right.
I think at the same time, what we kind of looking at when we're looking at these teams here, though, is like what we saying. Anthony Edwards plays in a small market, which I think isn't a problem with it. I don't think he gets televised enough. And then what?
But he has the most highlights in the NBA.
I agree 1,000%. That dunk the other night was crazy. But I think at the same time, yeah, I'm like, but at the same time, I think that small market plays a part. Because there's no reason, like you said, Alperen Sengun is over Domantas Sabonis, and Sabonis is averaging like what 20.
He averaged
2013 and 8.
Yeah. That
So
shit is
what's
crazy.
Sabonis
He's at
stats?
10.
I honestly think I think the fan voting's been going a little too far in NFL and NBA.
Yeah.
So honestly, the fans,
we don't
their
know
vote
shit.
shouldn't be as powerful as like people in the media and those people close to the game.
But I think it's the same. I think, but who do you want the media to vote though? The media kind of sucks.
I would like for the players and coaches and kind of like
your peers,
executives maybe to vote really.
Yeah, I agree with that, Tyler, a lot because it's like I'm not trying to be nasty here. I'm not being nasty. But a lot of these foreign players, they got whole goddamn countries behind them. Like a lot of these players is American, so like we already like it's already so many of these motherfuckers like out like single. He a Turkish player, like he got a whole goddamn nation behind him. Like
right.
So of course he gonna lead. He number 6 in voting, but like your player's not number 6 in the NBA. Like for your position, so like why are you a number 6 in voting? Because you have a whole damn nation behind you. So we got to do something differently. Like we got, like you said, coaches, executives, GMs. They got to. I think that fan vote should take like a 20%, and then like the 80% should be like GMs, coaches, executives.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I kind of get at least like a Kyrie being on the team, for example, because like you guys mentioned, it is a fan. It want to be entertaining, so I get why you want to throw like a Kyrie Irving in there, for example. So and I think like the contracts, they really come into play as far as the all NBA team. So it's not as like damaging to the players, at least when it comes to All-Star voting. So I can kind of see why a Kyrie Irving, for example, will make the game because you just want to make it fun at the end of the day.
Yeah, because he got handles too, so he gonna really put on a show out there. So I'm not like disgusted with it, but it's kind of like, come on, bro. I don't think so.
And he hasn't really played, so that's another. I don't really know how he got that many votes, but Kyrie, it's a big name. So.
But when you look at it though, Kyrie in the last 10 games, he had been going crazy. Luka had been out, which
Kyrie still got it.
He still got it for sure.
He still when he plays, he definitely is there.
I'm moving to the front court of the Eastern Conference. We got Giannis, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, and Jaylen Brown. Which, I'm about to be nasty again because everybody gonna hate me when I say this. Not a big fan of Jimmy Butler. He goes crazy in the playoffs, but what have you done for me lately?
That's a questionable one because he hasn't played a lot.
But what have you done for me lately? I don't like. He's not that nigga hoop like me. Like when I see
a football player.
I see nothing but gritty buckets. I don't see no finesse. Like I don't see a hooper when I see him. I just see somebody that's physical. He wants it more than you. He's not lazy. Like I don't see like no hooper in him. Like I feel like he's a fucking football player that converted to a hooper and was actually nice at hooping. Like I don't see like him being like, oh, he Jimmy buckets. Like them is gritty ass buckets he getting. He don't get no easy buckets. Like he makes everything hard. Like it don't look easy. Like when he scored, it don't look easy. Like you know what I mean? Like KD makes shit look easy. Like scorers
Yeah, that
make
was
shit look
crazy,
easy.
Tay. That
Yeah, it
was
was
crazy,
crazy. Who like
That was
Hey, it's calling LeBron in gym class.
Oh man,
But no, I think
damn should be. Yeah.
so when I'm looking at this list right here, Tico, like who would you put over Jimmy Butler though? Because I mean, like I don't in the All-Star setting, I really don't think I want to see Paolo. I don't want to see Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Bam
I'll take
Adebayo.
I'll take Nickel over him right now.
I'll take Bam. Bam should be in there.
I would. Bam's at number 7 right now. Tyler.
I'll put Bridges
behind Kristaps and behind.
Give me
Jalen.
Bridges. Give me Bridges. That
Bridges
boy's a
at the bottom.
that boy's a dog.
He is, but I just don't want to see him in an All-Star setting either. I think
Yeah, that was wicked, Khalid.
I think I think in the East when we're looking at it, bro, I think the East front court, like the players that they have in the East, is slim.
And the guards kind of looking slim too, because they got so for the guards, it's Tyrese Halliburton, Trae Young. These motherfuckers got the midget crew over here. Trae Young, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, they are
fucking
midgets.
Everybody's 6'1", 6'2".
Besides Halliburton, yeah, everybody else is tiny. But I think
did you name Damian Lillard, Jay?
Yeah, yes. Damian Lillard is number 3 right now on the list. Yeah.
How do y'all feel about that? Like, do y'all feel like he's finally getting equipped, like being on the Bucks? Like, do y'all feel like he's finally getting his stride over there? I seen him hit a game winner a couple of days ago. Like, do y'all feel like it took him a little while to get adjusted to that being with Giannis?
I think they just been kind of. They didn't really know who to like defer. It was hard for them to defer. You know, they're new playing with each other, and they just didn't know when the other one should take over. Really, I think at times, you know. So I think, but now they're kind of getting the groove. That takes time. I mean, it's just chemistry things. I mean, I think by the time the playoffs come, they're gonna be really scary. They are.
I think so too.
Think they're gonna go back to the conference championship against the Celtics, or how do y'all think that's gonna play out?
I don't think the Celtics are gonna.
I think the biggest issue with the Bucks, I think they can obviously have a lot of offense with Damian Lillard and Giannis having that pick and roll, but I really think the issue is the defense. Because I think Drew Holiday really made a big difference as far as you named all the All-Star guards in the East. It's pretty deep when it comes to the East as far as the talent pool goes. And I think Damian Lillard, he's just like a turnstile on defense. It's just terrible.
Right.
And I think Lopez isn't as athletic as he used to be. So I think the defense is really where they struggle. But honestly, like the Sixers right now, they look pretty scary.
They're on fire.
They look good.
The Sixers look pretty scary. I think Tyrese Maxey took that next step, and it comes down to the playoffs with Joel Embiid. He is putting up crazy numbers right now, but I think he does look better than he did last year. He's a little bit more efficient, and I think Tyrese Maxey has helped him a lot. So, I think the Sixers right now are definitely the biggest competitor for the Celtics so far.
Tyrese Maxey's nice.
Are you taking Joel Embiid for your back-to-back MVP, Sean?
I think you kind of have to right now, especially with their record and the numbers. I think Denver right now they're kind of in championship mode, like as far as they're gonna maybe coast a little bit towards the regular season, maybe rest their starters, towards the end of the season, because I think they have that confidence that they can go on the road and win. But the Sixers, they need home court advantage. You saw how they kind of folded, super quickly against the Celtics last year. So I think they're really going for the number 1 seed. So if they end up with the number 1 seed, Joel has the numbers. You have to give it to him, I think.
Yeah. So I got one last question for y'all before we move segments. So, okay, we talked about this a little bit in the group chat. So if the NBA was to if Brown was to retire right now, who would get the torch? Who would they hand the torch to?
That's tough.
I would. Yes, I'm gonna go with Luka. I think Luka is the next one, but Anthony Edwards is right there too.
I think you got Anthony. I think Ja fucked his bag up. I think it was. I think they were looking at Ja, and I heard someone say Jason Tatum. I don't think Jason Tatum personally is going to be it.
Personality.
Yeah, not even the personality. Is just that they haven't won a championship, bro. I think you have to have somebody that is. Because Brown was passed and he didn't have a championship yet either. But I like Anthony Edwards' tenacity. Like I feel like out of any young player right now, if I had to put a player I think is going to win a championship, like I would say it'd be Anthony Edwards. I think if they make the move of either getting rid of Cat or getting rid of Rudy Gobert, I think you move Cat, you bring in another perimeter or point guard, and then you keep Rudy Gobert for perimeter or interior defense, and I think you have a legitimate shot at a ring with them this year.
I agree. So take a quick commercial break in a second, and then when we come back, we're gonna go talk about the playoffs. We're gonna talk about vacancies. We're gonna talk about a little bit of everything. So stay tuned.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mud Talk is the only show that brings you the latest in music, news, and fashion, and keeping your ears to the streets while you grind and shine. Hosted by Big T, Shay Renee, Amy, and your boy Red. Be sure to tap into Mud Talk every single Friday, starting at 8 p.m. live on Facebook and YouTube. And catch us the next day wherever you stream your podcast.
We back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So now we getting back into that discussion I wanted to have earlier, man. Lights, camera, action. We're gonna start off like we've been doing. Sean, start off. Who was your GOAT receiver all times?
Mike Evans. No, I'm just kidding.
Jesus,
honestly,
I would take a big ass lean back on you.
I mean,
Evans
it's
is
like that big
crazy.
playoff win, so I got to show love to my Bucks. We'll talk about that later. But as far as the GOAT receiver that I've seen in my life, it's got to be Calvin Johnson. He just had the speed, the size, the hands, and he really carried that Detroit team through some lean years. So I wish he had a little bit more playoff success, but I mean, I think Calvin Johnson, as far as in my lifetime, is the best receiver of all time.
That's kind of hard to debate because I seen him do Cowboys so greasy. I was there firsthand when he had broke that record against Brandon Carr. Oh my God, sex, bye-bye. Oh my God. They were Brandon Carr out there. I was like, me and my dad was about to leave the game, and he was like, "No, I'll stay for a little bit." Then he ended up breaking the record. So he's like, "We gotta leave."
Yeah, but one thing I gotta mention though is I swear to God, if this dude didn't go fucking crazy, AB would have been the best. Like in our life, I think there's nobody better prime AB because you got. I mean, his numbers are insane.
He was ridiculous,
so.
bro. He was ridiculous. So Tyler, who do you got? I already know who you gonna say. I know who you gonna say.
Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad. Sean just brought it up because that's my pick right there. You know, AB man, that's gonna be my pick, man. I watched Calvin too. I was actually there that game. Calvin broke the record for most receiving yards in the season. I was actually at that game, and but I've seen Calvin. He was actually really good. But AB man, he was something different. I mean,
different.
If he could have just stayed on a little longer there in Pittsburgh, I mean, he would have definitely been the best in my eyes, like hands down.
Yeah.
It was
like that'd be the only thing. Like, I think someone would say our age, like as far as the AB, because like
what I've seen, what I got to watch. I mean, AB man, I mean,
was different.
Just to see, like he didn't even have all the size or anything. It was just his route running, the toe taps. I mean, just
everything.
Hey, you can always call God. You can always
call God.
Call God.
It was amazing.
God, man.
It was amazing.
It don't matter if it was a 5-yard slant, a 10-yard dig,
or a 30-yard bomb.
Like it did it. Like he did. Like he the first receiver I've seen that like 3 levels. Any level he can get to.
Yeah.
Any route, the route tree. He was fast. He was quick as fuck. He get the ball, cut up, juke you. Like his yak was crazy. Like he did everything good.
I love watching AB, bro.
Yeah, like
it's crazy.
I hate the Steelers, but
AB prime time.
Yeah, AB made me watch the Steelers. Like I was just so like excited.
It's a shame they never won a Super Bowl, man. They had Le'Veon back there. That AB, it's just like
that was a special team.
We just didn't have the defenses right at those times, so it just made it tough. So
shout out to Khalid on that one.
I'll change my answer to AB. Fuck him, man. AB was the best. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says. He was the best.
I was gonna say something about that because I was gonna say, bro, like I like Calvin Johnson. Don't get me wrong, bro. Calvin was good, but I think Julio was better than Calvin personally. And that's a hot smoke. That's a hot take. I think Julio is better than Calvin personally.
Whoa.
And I think when we look at it as far as like everything that Calvin did, Julio did.
Calvin paved the way for Julio.
Indeed. I'm not saying it like he didn't.
I'm
not saying like he didn't.
And it's not even a slight towards Julio. It's just not. Calvin was just so great. And he did that shit in a short stint. Like what he did was in a short ass stint. Julio still played.
Still is still playing right now, but I mean, he's playing, but it's irrelevant though.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. It's
That's
not like
on
he's
him.
really adding to those numbers.
He got them AP numbers out there right now.
Yeah, he's not doing too much
He
right
got
now.
them
Bro.
AP.
AP had like a random 1,000-yard season at the end of his
Oh,
career,
God.
bro. Like
He
you know
doing
what
that
I'm
AP
saying?
shit
Like,
right now.
But I think at this he's chasing that ring.
So who's your
chasing
go
that
receiver then?
ring. In my life, are we saying in our lifetime?
Like who
was that the conversation?
Yours.
I mean, he has to be Jay Rice.
Does it have to be?
What are you,
Come
40, Jay?
on, man.
Yeah,
You didn't
nah,
watch Jerry Rice.
you-
this
You
is
didn't
what-
watch Jerry
Hold on,
Rice.
time out,
This
time
nigga
out,
chain
time out,
smoke
but
C's
time
and
out.
Pepsis,
But
man.
time out, bro.
This nigga
But time
talk
out,
about
though.
fucking
But time
Jerry
out, though,
Rice,
bro.
man.
I'm gonna hit y'all with something right here because I got a lot of Brian fans all lined up.
Oh
on this whole
man,
little
here
thing,
we
bro.
go.
If we really want to talk about it,
Longevity.
if we're saying in our lifetime, obviously I didn't see Jerry Rice. So Jerry Rice is the GOAT in my lifetime. It's not the greatest receiver I've saw. But if we're saying the greatest receiver of all time, it has to be Jerry Rice. He leads every statistical receiving category.
We talking about your
No.
opinion. Fuck the stats. We talking about how
I mean, my
you
opinion,
feel.
it had to be.
Oh, your favorite.
Yeah, who's your favorite?
My favorite was okay. It's probably T.O. or Randy Moss.
And those are two great people you just named.
Yeah,
Could have
it'd
led with
probably
that.
be-
This Jerry
but-
Rice shit was
But
so great.
he's the statistical best receiver of
Bro,
all time.
okay, so let me.
So hold on, wait. So what y'all gonna say about Brian in 10 or 15 years for
fuck.
niggas that
We
haven't?
ain't talking about that right now. Hold on. No. I ain't even gonna
Okay.
talk about longevity.
Okay.
So let me bring this up. So Jerry Rice played, right?
Yep.
He played against two of the top 20 corners, right?
Okay.
So when Randy Moss played, he played against 15 of the top 20 top corners ever. 15 of the top 20. 15.
Man, who was really cooking at that point back then, bro?
Ty Law,
Samuel.
Asante Samuel, Champ Bailey, Charles
Darrell
Wood,
Revis.
Darrell Reeves. Like he played with all these people.
Man,
like
by the
he
time
played-
Revis was really there,
He
Randy
played
Moss
against
on the decline,
what's my
but-
man's that went play for Tampa Bay? Ronnie Barber. He played
Rondae
against
Barber.
all these, like he
Ed
played against
Reeds,
like
the
you got to think about
different
the area he
secondaries.
played in was like a cornerback era. Like this one cornerbacks like learn man-to-man lockdown coverage. And Jerry Rice played wasn't no fucking lockdown
But at the
corners,
same
and that's
time,
no
think
slight
about-
to him
think about when
because
Jerry Rice was playing at the same time.
hold on,
too,
let me
though. They were throwing the ball.
get my shit off. When Jerry Rice played, he had Steve Young, Hall of Fame quarterback, one top 10, top 20 stats ever. So you got to put that on top
It's
of
a
that.
Cowboys fan,
On top of a defense that was good, running out all them. So like you got to think about all this shit. Like Jerry Rice had all these things backing behind him. Like he was one of the first motherfuckers around routes. He out there running routes against my goddamn granddad. My granddad had never seen no goddamn route.
He was
and
the
I'm-
granddad too, though.
and I'm not trying to like slight Jerry Rice. He was just the first ever to really like run routes. So it's like when they seen that shit, it looked like witchcraft out there. Like he out there doing slants and shit. They're
Yes.
like, what the fuck?
I mean, but at the same time, though, bro, that's the time where he's the generational leader to like the NFL for that position. Like he's the first one to start doing that. They weren't
Yeah.
throwing the ball at that point. He's the first one to really have multiple. He leads the
But-
league from all-time
so-
1,000-yard receptions.
So how you
seasons.
if you don't throw the ball, then how you lead in receiving, receptions, touchdowns?
But that's
There's
what I'm
no way
saying.
that
he was
you don't
doing
throw
this
the ball.
but he was doing this at a time where people weren't throwing the ball. Like he was the first one to really where you were able to just
Hey, man.
say fuck it, we're gonna chuck it to Jerry
That nigga ran a 4.840.
and was cooking niggas.
Okay. He would've-
You watch him on
If-
film, it don't look like that nigga ran a 4.8.
No, I
wasn't
mean,
fast.
Shit, he's
Yeah.
moved faster than every nigga on the field. Dion had trouble
he
keeping
was-
up with that nigga.
He was just in there getting mixed. Bro, I think the thing is being a former DB, bro. I think you give too much respect to people like, oh, I'm about to come out here and try to guard this motherfucker. Oh, I'm about to, this AB, I can't guard him. Fuck that. He about to get jammed up just like anybody else. I think we give.
Yeah.
So you think
respect.
people was just afraid of Jerry Rice and they just was letting that nigga?
Sometimes people do be giving you like too much respect. Like they give you like, I can't hold this motherfucker.
So now
Like,
y'all using that same argument against Jerry that y'all using against Jordan.
I got Randy Moss, man. Fuck what they talking about,
Oh my
man. Give me
God.
Randy.
Randy played against a lot
I
of
mean,
niggas.
no,
Same
listen,
niggas
I
that
get,
Jerry
I
played
do get
against.
what Jay is saying. Like, as far as
Randy.
the stats, like, you can't really argue with the stats, but I mean, you got to look at like the positions just different. I mean, the talent pool of receiver is incredible. Like, you got
Right.
Justin Jefferson coming in, breaking
Nobody
records. You
getting
got Chase, or you got Jamar Chase coming in, breaking records. So, like, these wide receivers are
Like
coming in, like,
Puka.
with rookie seasons,
Sure.
like, ready
Sure.
to go. So, I think
Yeah,
it's a little
sure.
different, but
Yeah.
I see Jay's point.
Are we ever gonna see anybody get
That
close
shit-
to those?
Yes.
Who?
Yes.
Yes, I mean Tyreek. If he didn't miss those couple
Tyreek.
games, he probably would have broken Calvin Johnson's all-time
Oh,
single
yeah,
season record. So I mean, it's just a different
Yeah,
game
sure.
with the yards.
But yeah, I think now though, I'm like, they would have to. What Jerry was at the top. I mean, he has what 14,000 yard receiving or 14,000 receiving yard seasons. Like, is there going to be somebody close? Even like Larry Fitzgerald, who played for 15 years, damn near, is still 5,000 to 6,000 yards away from Jerry Rice.
I think Tyreek.
You think Tyreek can get close?
Tyreek
How old is
or
Tyreek?
Dennis.
30?
I think Justin Jefferson. I mean,
I think
Justin
Justin
Jefferson's
Jefferson
going to
would be
be
the
One of those younger guys, just
long time.
Jefferson.
Had to be your best
Yeah.
bet.
he gonna have to go for 2 bands every
like-
season to catch up Tyreek.
I was about to say, yeah. I would say at this point now to be able to catch Jerry Rice.
Which is more games. There's more opportunities for that now. So
That is true.
17 games.
That is true.
More opportunities. They ref the game different. The wide receivers get off. So
Yeah, it's a lot more offensive friendly. So I do want to transition to the playoffs now because y'all done got me started. And I could talk about Randy Moss, so I say, but I ain't gonna do that. You feel me? Mr. Moss himself, the reason why we go outside and catch it over a nigga and be like, oh, just Moss. We never said you Rice a nigga. So, anyways,
niggas don't say Brian. Just remember that same point.
That's true. That's very true.
All right.
So, moving forward to today's game. So, our first game of the day, we got the Ravens versus Texans. I think that's gonna be a great game.
Mm-hmm.
The line is starting off at 9.5. The over is at 43.5. How do you guys feel about this game? Whoever wants to start off first, take a steer. Which I think.
Tyler, what you think?
I don't know. You start off, Sean, please. I want to hear what you have to say first. I do want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. So I think 9.5 is a little tough as far as the fall game. I really think the Ravens are gonna come out, first half really ready to go. So just throwing that out there early. That's gonna be my best bet for this game is the Ravens minus 5.5. But it's tough. I think the script could go as far as to the Ravens to get off to a strong start. They could run the ball. The Texas defense, they're still a little suspect. I mean, I'm not going to put too much stock into they'll beat 100-year-old Joe Flacco. Because, I mean, we all knew that Joe Flacco story was going to end eventually. Yeah. And I think they got a lot of big chunk plays. But I think the Ravens is like a little bit of a different animal. I would be scared to lay the 9.5 points with them full game because, I mean, we've seen the Ravens go up and take a big lead in the first half and then take their foot off the gas in the second half. So I think if you're going to bet this game, I think you really want to look at that first half spread, Ravens minus 5.5 because they're rested. And I think John Harbaugh and that, coaching staff is going to be ready to go. So I think the Ravens pull it off at the end, but I wouldn't be surprised if CJ scored a couple touchdowns towards the end to cover.
So do you think, so his line starting off right now at 236.5. Would y'all think he's going to get that? I think that's going to be easy money for him. I don't think it's going to be easy.
I actually took the completions.
You took the completions at what, 28? Was it 28?
Or excuse me, not the completion. I took his pass attempts 35.5. I actually did a little bit of research, and that line's been covered the past 5 games for the Ravens. So I think that's a good one.
I took that 35.
I think people can't run against the Ravens, so you're gonna have to throw the ball.
And they'll probably be down, so they'll probably have to pass a lot more towards the end. So
exactly.
I think y'all know what my best bet is for this game, bro. It's gonna probably throw y'all off, but my best bet is Isaiah Likely for 38.5 yards. That's my best bet. I
like that.
He's gonna have to be the target because the Texans give up the most yards to the tight end, like 5th on the thing for allowing yards to a tight end. That's why I thought Joker was gonna go crazy last week. So we're gonna try again this week.
Yeah, no Mark Andrews. So.
I'm about to say, I know they reactivated him off of injury reserve, but is he still
not playing?
He ain't playing. Yeah,
okay.
Probably gonna play next game if they win.
Yeah, I know they took him off IR, but
okay. And I'm smacking my 9.5. I'm taking that minus 9.5.
So Tyler, you think the Ravens winning that game as well too? Is that your prediction? I know.
I'm just telling you guys, I'm riding with the Ravens the rest of the way here. So I'm on Team Lamar right now. So I see. Come on, I just think it's time for them to prove the doubters wrong. I think this is their year. I really do. So it's the story they want. Both the Harbaugh brothers won a championship this year. Come on, this is what they want. That's what they want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, I think this is Stroud's had a great season, but I just think the Ravens are going to be way too much. I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be a little closer to him, but I don't see the Texans.
Think he's going to have his rookie moment this game? He's finally.
I don't know if he'll necessarily play bad, but I think I don't think he'll have enough. I think that defense is too good, and I just don't think he'll have enough to really overcome. Really.
So. Yeah, I think the Texans defense is going to be the ones that's getting shredded because I feel like they're going to have their moment this game because last week was real fluky. Like they really didn't have to really get in their bag defensively as far as schemes and everything. They kind of just out there freestyling. And Joe Flacco was out there seeing fucking ghosts. He was seeing Prime Warren Sapp the real Reeves.
He was playing against James Harrison and Troy Polamalu or something.
He's oh shit, is that Troy? Throw that shit out. Throw that shit on the field.
He was out there tweaking though.
Man.
But I think I'm gonna go Ravens as well too though. I do think CJ's gonna have a good game, man. I don't think he's gonna have a bad game. I think this is gonna be a game similar to the Browns, where we thought the Browns were gonna come in and demolish them on the defensive side, and CJ was able to kind of perform. If, as anybody that knows, that y'all know, I had a lot of hate for CJ throughout the last 2 years, 3 years, just because of what he did at Ohio State. But that's definitely changed from what he's done in the NFL. He's definitely shown his heart, dropped his nuts a little bit. But I think I am going to have to end up going with the Ravens. I want to see the Ravens get the Super Bowl. But this is a game where I won't be mad
Big trust.
if the Texans win. I won't be mad either way. I'm just happy to see, one of these quarterbacks continue and go on. But I do think the Ravens win this game. And I agree with Sean on the -5.5 at 1.5. I think the Ravens probably have a touchdown lead 1.5 time. And I think that the Texans do end up covering that 9.5 though. So
Okay, I got one more thing to say before we move to this game. I probably wonder why Big Texas got a Lamar Jackson jersey on. We've been locked in like quarterback for a long time now, since Louisville days. But anyways, we're gonna move to the Packers and 49ers.
drop this
game.
flag, y'all.
Look, I ain't dropped my flag yet. It's my dog. I still got a dog in this fight, man. I still got a dog in this fight. We're gonna move on to this 49ers Packers game. The over is 50.5, and then the Packers line is +10. How do y'all feel about that?
Ooh, we.
Give me.
I have a lot of bets lined up for this game. I'll tell you that.
I'm gonna go real quick, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm spamming that Packers +10. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna spam that.
I did too.
I think they kind of fucking up with Jordan Love on that one, but I do think San Francisco wins this game. But take that +10 if you can get that for sure.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say.
I took it
Yep.
because they 8-1 against the spread when they 3-point favorites, 3-point underdogs. They 8-1 against the spread.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I agree with you guys. I mean, this is like my best bet of the week is the Packers +10. I mean, you just look at like the second half of the season, every statistical category, as far as the offense goes, Jordan Love has been a top 5 or top 3 player in the position. So, I mean, if you're telling me that Jordan Love is, one of the top 5, top 10 quarterbacks, which I'll go out and say, I mean, he really does look like Aaron Rodgers, so I think he is playing at that level. You can't give the 49ers 10 points. And I know that, the 49ers are kind of a wagon. I mean, I know they're rested. I know Kyle Shanahan's going to have a good couple plays, but I love the Packers +10. I also love the Packers team total at over 20.5. So, I mean, you're basically, even if they do end up losing this game, I do think they're going to be able to, pass the ball and they get, down early. They're going to be able to have to pass the ball to get back in the game. So I think they score at least 21 points. So I like that bet. So the team total over 20.5. And I also like Jordan Love's passing yards too in this game. So, and the over in this game. So I just think it's going to be a lot of points. So I love this game. It's my favorite game of the weekend.
50.5. Smack it, hammer it. Hammer it. It's 8-0. It's 2000. It's 8-0 since 2001 when they came off a major blowout. Since 2001, 8-0.
Damn.
Yep. So love the over, love the Packers points, love Jordan Love's yards, and the Packers cover. So go Pack, go.
Oh yeah,
right.
Cheese head today. Even though they
Cheese
blew us
head,
off.
yes sir.
Tyler, what's your input?
Yeah, I think my favorite bet of the day is Jordan Love over. I think I think they are going to lose, but I think even if they do lose, he'll be passing the ball a lot. And he's a plethora of receivers over there, so I think we'll be able to hit all those guys today, even with that tough 49ers defense they're going against. But I also like the over on C-Max yards. I think C-Max he's gonna go for 100 today. I kind of feel like
90.5.
What is it?
yeah, this is at 90.5 right now. I would take the over. I think he's gonna go for 100 today. I think he'll probably get in the end zone also. But I think I don't know. I'm still curious. I'm not sure if I'm too confident in the Packers +10. I think this could get out of hand a little bit.
You know what?
I think the 49ers have shown in these games that they've shown that they can take things out of hand. So I think I'm leaning towards Niners -10. So
when Sean was talking, I was kind of like, I started thinking more about that defense, and I was like, man, I don't know. The 49ers could low-key shut their shit down.
But they also had a week off too, though. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can come out there.
Here,
really
one more
stagnant.
thing before T. Cole, you give your preview though.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say I think the Packers are like a live dog. I think if you're gonna pick any underdog this weekend, I'd even sprinkle a little bit of Packers money line because I think the big thing is if they do, because the last game that the Packers when they run the coin toss, they got the ball and they score early. And I think that 49ers team is a little different playing from behind. So if the Packers get a little lead, I think they can win. So I'm not even going to be confident saying the 49ers are going to win.
Yeah. Matt LaFleur is going to come out there. He's going to have those guys coached up. They're going to come out there with that fucking attitude, man, because they don't care. Like, they know they're the underdogs. They're going to come out there with nothing to lose. They're going to go for it on fourth. They're going to go for it on third. Like, they're not going to care. They're going to run the ball on your throat. They're going to Jordan Love out there, triple crown, bro. Can we talk about this real quick before you switch to the next game? They had a triple crown. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and now Jordan Love.
Disgusting.
What do y'all think this is like being a good GM?
Are we really ready to solidify Jordan Love in that class yet?
I'm not putting him in the class. Yeah, I mean he's in the playoffs. I mean he's in the playoffs. His second year playing, legitimately playing.
Yeah.
So he's in his second year. I think he's ahead
of really this is first year. This is his first year.
Really, really starting. Yeah. So it's like I'm not gonna put him in them class yet until we do it like 2 or 3 years consecutively. Right. But like
I will.
They haven't had any QB drop-offs since fucking Brett Favre left. Like,
I mean, I think they know what to look for at this point. I mean, I think, and a lot of people crucified the Packers when they took Jordan Love at the number 10 pick. What was that, 3-4 years ago? Because they needed other weapons and things like that. But I think they have a formula that works. They drafted him, and then not only when they drafted him, it kind of pissed Aaron Rodgers off. Made Aaron Rodgers play.
Yeah, I seen that. Somebody tweet that shit. Somebody was like, they get your old. You like bring a young guy in to fire, start a fire to your old man
quarterback,
and then they teach him, and then he just watches for like 3-4 years, and then it's like, so why don't everybody do this format?
I mean, I think now you're gonna start seeing it though.
I think coaches are too quick to like switch QBs.
But I think you're gonna start seeing, because when we look at it, I think the other most successful young quarterback, I mean, Patrick Mahomes had a whole year behind Alex Smith.
Yeah.
And got to learn and got to watch the offense, got to learn from Andy and got to learn from Alex. And he came out his first year was firing. You know what I'm saying? So
I think the biggest reason why they just throw quarterbacks to the fire nowadays is just because like salary cap reasons. Because if you can have that quarterback on a rookie contract and you can build like the team around him, give him some receivers, give him a line. I mean, that's like the biggest advantage in football. But I would lean more towards the side of letting him sit, just because I mean, once you throw a quarterback in there and he has a couple bad games, it's really hard to bring his confidence back. But I just think with the salary structure, they just want these guys to play. And they just want to see if they're talented. And then if you have that elite quarterback on a rookie contract, you can really build the rest of your roster out. So I think that's one of the reasons why you just see quarterbacks just getting thrown out there as soon as they're drafted.
Wolves, yeah. Yep. So I think we're going to move forward to the next game. I know Sean's excited to talk about this because I think this is the best playoff game this week.
Yeah.
It's going to be the most competitive game this week. We got the Bucks versus the Lions. And I'm going to let Sean start this one off because, he's a Bucks fan. Only Bucks fan I really know legitimately. So let's start it off, Sean. What do you think? 6.5 with the over at what?
So I do want to point out that I did say the Bucks were going to win last game. And then our very first podcast, my first hot take was that the Eagles were going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. So I mean, it just stars really just aligned to where it was my favorite team that knocked them out. So let me just give a shout out to myself for that. But as far as to this game goes, it's a little tough. They played earlier in the year, and then the Lions won pretty handedly. Jared Goff, I mean, contrary to popular belief, he actually handled the blitz pretty well against the Bucks. And they also lost David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs too. So I mean, the fact that they still won on the road is a lot. As far as the spread goes, right now the spread is Lions -6.5. I'd be a little scared to take the spread with the Lions, because I think that that passing defense of the Lions, you can still pass on them, and they actually rank in the bottom. They actually 27th in the league as far as to yards allowed for slot receivers. So I think this is going to be a big Chris Godwin game. But I do think the Bucs have a chance, because that Lions defense, I'm still really not sold. Honestly, the Rams really could have won that game last week. You had that call on Puka Nacua that pass interference wasn't called. Yeah. So I think the Rams kind of could have won that last game. I do think the Lions, like all bias aside, I think the Lions pull it out. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucs covered. So I would take the Bucs points.
I'm taking Bucs 6.5 all day. Sprinkling the money line, because this is what I'm going to say. People are going to think I'm being nasty. I think Baker Mayfield is due for a bad game as well. I think Jared Goff is also due for a bad game because, like Sean said in the previous podcast, They're a blitzing ass team. They're like top 5 in blitzing.
Yep.
Jared
Goff
Goff
is bad against the
feel
blitz.
me, and he in the playoffs.
against
So
the
it's
blitz.
like he gonna be. I think he gonna be seeing ghosts out there
Yeah.
for at least a couple possessions, and that's what's gonna really come down to it. It's gonna be a close game, so it's gonna be a 1 touchdown game. Whether it goes, so it's gonna be like if he throw 1 pick and they scored, I think that's gonna be the difference of the game.
I think at the same time too, I think this game kind of looks like how this game looked last week for Tampa.
On the bet, Cal.
I think you're looking at it as far as Detroit has a weak secondary, similar to Philadelphia. I mean, the Buccaneers have good receivers, as we saw, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So I think we're looking at a game where
Trey Palmer.
Yeah, and Trey Palmer.
And
he wakes up pissed off. Trey Palmer's going off. So
David Moore, don't forget David Moore now.
They deep, man. I think they deep as far as the receiving core goes, and I think Detroit's biggest weakness is their secondary. So I don't want to say I would be surprised because it is Baker, but how crazy would it be if Baker makes the NFC Championship, man?
He's gonna be so nasty. He's gonna be the
that
devious
would
bag.
be so
Love
fucking
it.
crazy.
Love it. Love it.
Crazy.
What you think, Tyler? You over there so fried? What you think over there, man?
No, I'm just over here laughing because I'm just weak because I think the Lions are actually, this is a new one for me. I think the Lions are going to take care of business. You know, this is my 2 cities going against each other now. You know, these are my 2 cities going at it. You know,
oh my God! I didn't know real quick. Tyler is worldwide Tyler around this motherfucker. In case y'all didn't know, this passport Tyler. In case y'all didn't know, he's from everywhere in the goddamn country.
These are 2 cities going against each other, man. So it's tough. I'm gonna have to go Lions, man. I see
on the points. What you doing? Money line or points?
I'm okay with Lions minus 6.5. I really am. I think it's gonna be way too loud in Detroit. I think Baker kind of had his run. I think he's due for one. I know Goff could be due for one too, like you guys said. But
I'm saying it's both. It's like,
but I also just think the Lions are just too motivated right now. They're too hot. I think it's gonna be too much for the Bucs on the road. I just think it's gonna be too much for them. I think the Lions cover here today. So
somebody's gonna put on the Astor class. Is it gonna be?
It's gonna be Baker or Golf.
Somebody's putting on the Astor.
Could be both.
I think the environment. I think Detroit's gonna be just too loud for Tampa.
For Baker.
And
one thing I will say is, bro, like I will say Baker shows up in moments, man. Baker's not afraid of the moment.
Baker Mayfield.
I don't know, bro.
They also did have a home game. So
I always flash back to Baker planting that damn flag at Ohio State, bro, and it makes me fucking cringe. But I'm like, at the same time, no, bro, he
kind of like how Michigan did too. Well, last time we were in Columbus.
Oh man. So
that's we got the NFL guys. Come on.
Yeah, look.
Okay.
No. We ain't
I was
doing
making sure. I was curious.
So the next game. Anyway, bro. So the next game, man. So I wanted to ask Sean this because I heard him say this was his. You said the Green Bay was his favorite underdog, and I thought about the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are the underdogs for the first time. Well, Patrick Mahomes, maybe his only second time in his career, and it's their first time on the road in the playoffs. So it's like. Okay. You don't think that the Chiefs are your favorite underdog, Sean, or you really like the Packers as your favorite underdog? You got that much confidence in Josh Allen?
I think this is the hardest game of the weekend to pick. So I think these teams really match up really well against each other. I think the 2 key things on this game is, one, you do have to look at Patrick Mahomes as an underdog. He's 8-0 against the spread against the underdog. So, I mean, when you're getting Patrick Mahomes as an underdog, you kind of do have to bet him. But I really do like this Bills team. I really think that he can move the ball a lot. Josh Allen's been playing a lot better. He took the ball a little bit better the last game against the Steelers. So I do think that the Bills really do have the talent to win. As far as the best bet, I think you do have to take you still get the Chiefs +3. Minus 120, I think, on ESPN bet. So I did already take that. But I really wouldn't be surprised if the Bills won. But I think if you just wanted that security, that thing you have to side with the Chiefs +3. And then the one other thing is that the Bills defense, I mean, they have just lost so many people over the course of the year. So I think they're just signing linebackers right now. Yeah. So I think it's really a close game. But I would probably lean towards the Chiefs +3.
The DBs are still there at Kansas City. The DBs are actually pretty
good. White injured though, ain't he?
Tre'Davious White is injured.
Tre'Davious White's
Bills. Yeah, we're talking about Bills. Yeah, Bills.
Yeah.
The Bills defense is dismantled.
It's cooked.
That's why I said this is when they played Joe. I said this is their last week playing because they should have dominated y'all. No TJ Watt. They should have dominated y'all, bro. Like they were like having they started off real great in the first half, and that shit just like simmered out.
Yeah, I knew it would. That's Josh Allen's MO, man. I don't. he doesn't really. I think people kind of overhype him a little bit. I think he's a turnover machine. He makes mistakes. He kind of gets in his own head, I think, a little bit. I think when Mahomes just being an underdog, how many times do you actually really get to bet on Mahomes be underdog? How many times do you actually get to bet on Mahomes to be underdog? You don't get it. Like, you count on your hands how many times you could in the last 2 years.
Let me give you a stat. Mahomes being underdog. So hammer this line while you can because it's still low as hell. And it's real good money. So his line at 255 right now, right?
Yeah.
So his he averages 311 yards away and 3.5 touchdowns as an underdog in a way.
Damn.
So his line at 255. So that's like, plus money. That's super plus money. Yeah, that's super. It's like plus.
So wait, let me ask you this about that bet though. So you don't think that if the Chiefs do go up, that they might try to run the ball a little bit and kind of lean on that defense? Because I think the Chiefs, they've been a little bit different this year as far as they really
do run the ball a lot.
Because they got the
ball,
so I think they got Pacheco
that bitch.
Yeah.
Pacheco
but I think this game is going to be one of those where it's going to be a shootout. I don't think it's going to be a game where you're going to just be able to just try to run the ball out. I think it's going to be a game where both of these quarterbacks are going to have to come out and perform.
This is going to be a Travis Kelce game. He's going to finally wake the fuck up.
Rasheed Rice
and Travis Kelce
is going to be the guy.
It's going to be both of them. It's going to be both of them going crazy.
I think if you're going to take anything, Khalil Shakur is another one that I would look at for his yards. I mean, bro, he's no Gabe Davis. We obviously know what they're going to do. Stephon, they're probably going to have safety over top to help with that. On top of what they're going to have guarding him.
I would never bet with him again.
I mean, bro, it's crazy because if you look at his numbers statistically,
you take his under,
he goes crazy.
You take his over,
he doesn't.
He only get the ball.
But it's like Brady. It's that dude Joe Brady or whatever their offensive coordinator is. Like since he's come in, he's only played. His percentage of snaps has gone down. Stephon Diggs, so it's hard to predict what the hell he's going to do.
Yeah,
but I would take Khalil Shakur over on his yards. I would take that as well too.
So, do you think they're going to go over 45.5 in Buffalo? Mind you that
no snow.
I honestly like the under.
Like the under too.
I like the under in this game, and I think my bet of the week is definitely just Chiefs money line. I like that. Just don't overcomplicate it. Just Chiefs money line.
I think I'm going Chiefs. I'm taking Chiefs 24-17. Like if I had to take a score, I think I'll go 24-17.
I ain't doing the score, but I'm taking Chiefs money line for sure. Give me the plus money.
Chiefs money line is my bet.
It's gonna be a lot of field goals, bro. It's gonna be a lot of field goals. I think it's gonna be a lot of long drives. A lot of we're gonna get to the 20, grind it out. We can't score. We're gonna take the points because both of these teams are trying to win. This is a big game.
It is
for Mahomes because it's a revenge game for one. And it's like it's kind of I ain't gonna say it's a legacy game, but it's like this is my moment to like match up with Tom Brady. Like this is the same path Tom Brady was on. So like let me show you how I can be great.
Who do you think has more pressure on winning this game right here? Because this is a big game for both teams.
I mean, Josh Allen.
Nobody puts pressure on Josh Allen. Like you'll never see
exactly.
Besides the niggas, nobody slanders Josh Allen.
I think it's more. You know who I think has the most pressure at this game? It's Sean McDermott. Like on this game right now. This game, I think Sean McDermott is this is the game that can really predict his future. Yeah. It's like if he doesn't win this game, do you look at it as now you lost to the Chiefs 3 times in the playoffs? You can't get over that hill. You look at all that.
No, I agree. Jay. I think when he's gone.
I think he's gone.
Think so?
Yeah, I think.
Comments.
But they 2-1. They damn near. But they like 2-1. They're going to Super Bowl after they beat them. So Josh Allen's a poor man, big man.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's not a lie.
That's a good take.
That's not a lie. That's not a lie.
That's the best shit you ever said, Calvin.
That's not a lie.
That's the realest shit you ever said.
I think I'm not mad at that.
Can I even say poor man's? Because I mean,
shit, he ain't got no Super Bowls.
He a little faster than big. I mean,
Super Bowls. They got some Super Bowls.
I'll throw it out there. I'll take Josh Allen 10 times out of 10 over Big Ben. I'm sorry.
Hey, I will say this: Josh Allen looks like John Elway out there.
Nasty. He's a Josh Allen, bro. You gotta think for Josh Allen.
He said like
Josh
Big Ben,
Allen homer.
He was my fantasy quarterback, so I love that guy.
So do you think Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the NFL? I don't know if I got you a record saying this or not, Sean.
Oh no, I mean no, it's definitely Pat Mahomes. I mean Pat Mahomes is probably going to be the greatest quarterback of all time. So
for sure,
it's Mahomes.
Okay.
So before I wrap this up, I want to say shout out to Black Lido Village Academy and Many Faces Podcast for having us studios.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for joining us. Drunk Us Podcast. We'll be here next week. Thank you.
See y'all boys.
Thanks, y'all.